Is the squeeze squoze? This is a question that so many investors are asking themselves right now. And if you head over to isthesqueezesquoze.com, you're going to notice that right now, the squeeze has not been squoze. It's a mouthful, and this is definitely not investment advice, but this is a cool little website that was created, super simplistic. If you scroll through it, you can see kind of the situation, the breakdown, what the shortage percentage is looking like. And in this video today, what we're going to be talking about is the GameStop stock shortage, a little bit into AMC. We're going to be looking at the WallStreetBets Reddit because there was this really cool segment that was recently hosted, and I want to go into details on some of that stuff. So let's get right to the video. All right, if you guys have no idea what the situation at hand is, I have a video entirely around this, but essentially, in a nutshell, what's been going on is that there has been a massive short squeeze, one of the biggest in histories, and it's kind of centering around GameStop, but there's other stocks involved as well in this whole madness. And the reason why the other stocks are involved too is because some of the brokerages have been restricting trading rights on certain stocks. In particular, GameStop and AMC are the two main ones that I always see in the news, so that's what I kind of focus on. And what's been happening is these brokerages at first were only limiting them to be sold, so anybody who currently owned them could only sell out of them. They could not pick up more. Since then, they've kind of been more lenient with the rights, but there's still some restrictions put in place. And this is kind of questioning, raising red flags for a lot of different people, really influential people out there that have a voice, that are really calling out these platforms for what they're doing. You know, we hear the term, it's a free market, but if all these brokerages can restrict trading rights, then is it really a free market? So one of the main people who has been a massive advocate for this actually came onto the Reddit WallStreetBets and did an AMA. And if you have no idea what an AMA is, AMA stands for Ask Me Anything, where essentially they just sit there and they answer your questions. And this person was Mark Cuban. If you don't know who Mark Cuban is, he's on Shark Tank. He does a lot of different things. He's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. This is a really wealthy man who's established himself. I think his net worth right now, according to Forbes, is around $4.2 billion. He's, you know, an angel investor. He's an investor in general, and he's just got a lot of knowledge around the situation. So he didn't ask me anything, and I kind of want to cover that in the WallStreetBets, talk about what's going on, some of his answers to the questions, but also talk about my take on some of this situation. So it's going to be weaving in throughout this video, but that's exactly what I want to do. So let me just open up that Reddit. All right, so you guys should be seeing the AMA on the screen right now. Now, this is obviously Mark Cuban behind the keyboard who's answering all these questions, and I thought I'd jump right in. I'm going to be focusing on a lot of the ones where he talked about Robinhood investing in particular, because that's kind of what I built this channel around, and I've really been changing my thought process on how I view and think around this company, and it's making me, you know, make some pretty massive decisions. So this is one of the first questions that was asked. It was, "Hey Mark, thanks for doing this. What are your thoughts on which services to use? I'm planning to get out of Robinhood. Any retail trading companies you'd recommend?" Basically, this person's just looking for Mark's suggestions as this guy who's, you know, been investing and has a lot of knowledge for the situation. And what Mark comes back with is saying, pick the brokerage with the strongest balance sheet. What ruined Robinhood is that they didn't have enough cash to deal with the growth in accounts, margin loans, and volatility. The exact same thing will happen at the next broker if you don't make sure that they have multi-trillion-dollar balance sheets to be able to handle these kinds of circumstances. And he says that there will be a class action lawsuit. They will be one, but it's not looking like you're going to get any more than $10 per person. So, you know, this whole situation has been absolutely nuts, and it has opened my eyes, and I definitely have started shifting the way I look at the Robinhood brokerage. I'm starting to look at different brokerages that might be great for me to use, to talk about on this channel, to expose some other people to. And what I've found is that Robinhood, for me, as I was using it, sort of acted like training wheels to get into the investment world. I still think it's a really good beginner program because it doesn't have all these bells and whistles to get caught up in. But once you kind of get the lay of the land, it's time to, you know, graduate and figure out a brokerage that is a little bit more user intuitive. It has more to it. There's more depth, more features that you can get accustomed to and just continue learning. Because, you know, at the most basic level, I think it gets the job done. It teaches you how to invest, how to get more familiar with the market, but it really doesn't go much further than that. Now, these other apps that I've been using, using. I actually started using Webull a little bit more. I'm going to be putting out a video around Webull. There is a link in the description that you can sign up, get yourself 4 free stocks by depositing $100 right now. It's a current promotion. It's subject to change, but that's what's going on right now. I love using Webull right now. You can set up a bunch of different things in terms of tracking and figuring out more stats on stocks and really looking at different information that can help you make more educated purchases. Because in Robinhood, you really get the price of the stock, maybe the dividend, which is sometimes accurate, sometimes it's not. You get more information from an app like Webull. And there's so many different great brokerages out there. I'm going to be looking at a number of different ones, and one of the main ones is definitely going to be Fidelity Investment. I feel like I've asked so many people where they're investing, what apps they're actually going to be switching to, what brokerages they want to use, and most of the people I'd say are saying Fidelity Investment. So that's definitely something I want to focus on in the future. I'm probably going to keep my Robinhood account open. I'm just not going to be adding much money to it at all. And then eventually I will transfer my funds out of Robinhood into another brokerage. So if you're kind of confused, you don't really know, it's actually not great to just sell out of your positions. You're going to have tax implications. If you haven't been holding long, you're going to have capital gains tax that you need to pay, income tax, all these different things. So it's super important that when you take money out of one brokerage, doesn't matter if it's Robinhood or another brokerage, you want to transfer your funds out and then have the new brokerage pay for any fees in transferring. So usually I think with Robinhood, it's like $75 to get your stocks from their brokerage to another, but most brokerages will work with you and help you transfer it out and cover that fee that's associated with it. So I was just scrolling through and I came across this meme again. This is my favorite one at the moment. Basically, this is Breaking Bad, if you guys didn't know, and it's the wife of Walter White, and she's saying, you know, I'm watching the news. Have you heard of the Reddit movement? And then it's me holding my one share and saying, I am the movement. This is a super powerful meme to me because I was a big fan of Breaking Bad. Super hilarious, and honestly, that's so many of us out there. Not a lot of people that are watching this channel have a huge position in these stocks. They're holding, you know, 1 or 2. I myself don't have a position. I actually hold 2 shares of AMC, and I bought them a while back just because I had some money from referrals that I just used to hold on to the stock. And, you know, I don't know when I'm going to sell it or anything. I'm down on it, I'm pretty sure, but it's just like the best meme right now.
You clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
I think one of the best things from this thread actually came from one of his closing remarks where he was explaining the situation. It's really inspiring to see these advocates come out and speak highly of something like WallStreetBets and the people who have really founded this movement. If you guys didn't know, the guy who actually, you know, really realized the situation going on, he came from this WallStreetBets Reddit, and his name was Deep Effing Value on this sub. And basically he turned around I believe a $700,000 investment, a little bit more than that, into over $50 million at one point in time. He's still holding on at the current moment, I believe. It'll be interesting to see when he sells how much money he actually makes, but it's been absolutely nuts watching that. So Mark's remarks around this situation are that, you know, this is something that we've never seen before. Thanks for making kids around the country, including his own son and daughter, you know, more aware, and really this is an inspiring situation. They've really changed the game, the people of this subreddit. And with that being said, he was thinking that there will be another situation like this. And when it happens, you got to go at it, and we're going to be stronger and smarter with how we handle it. There was only one thing that he saw in his mind that messed us up, and that was Robinhood and the other zero commission brokers that everyone used and didn't have enough capital funds to fight. They let you all down in a big way. So those are his own thoughts around the situation. I think it makes a little bit of sense when you break it down looking at it, because restricting the rights of the traders, you couldn't buy more, the implied volatility goes down, only people could close positions, so more people are selling, less people are buying. It kind of is obvious what is going to happen when that is something that's structured out. So another user asked about the volume of the trading the last couple days and Mark's thoughts around that. And this is one remark that I thought was really interesting to see. Mark said that he loves to see companies that he owns being shorted. If it's a company that he wants to own, he knows that the shorts can be squeezed out. And if the company does really well, then the shorts will have to cover, creating more demand for the the stock that he owns and it pushes the price up ultimately. So in a situation like this, he actually doesn't mind when he's holding and he sees his portfolio value dipping a lot. When looking at what's going on with the regulations of trading, Mark kind of spoke out about the SEC and said that the SEC is a mess right now. It's not necessarily tailored for the people. He thinks it's going to be a big letdown of the situation, what comes out from this. He doesn't necessarily think that the regulations are going to help the people as much. And what he says and kind of wraps up all you need to know about the SEC is how badly they want to mess with the little guy, how badly they can actually do this, because one of the main things is they can use judges that actually work for the SEC when suing people. So essentially, you do not actually have a jury of peers in front of the judge to remain independent. It really messes things up, obviously puts anybody who's being sued at a way less chance of actually winning the case, and it's just so manipulative and not balanced. When looking at the situation as a whole, Mark wanted to put out some of his advice, and he said that in a situation like this where these values are super volatile, if you truly believe in the stock or if you truly believe in what's going on, then it's okay to hold. If you look at the situation with Bitcoin, people bought in 2017 around 20K and watched it completely tank. It went all the way down to $4,000. They were losing massive amounts of money. And if they held to now, obviously Bitcoin is well above 30 grand and they could really capitalize on some of the returns finally. But it's just a matter of having that thick skin, staying in the game. I'm not saying that you need to hold your GameStop stock. I really feel like the true value of it right now is around $40. 17 to 40 are the price targets. But with all of the implied volatility, everything going on, the focus, the meme stocks out there, that's why it's at the high prices that we see today. Now, another interesting thing that I saw being asked was directly at Mark Cuban, and it basically was asking, hey, Mark, do you think that you would ever open up a brokerage to support the little guys? Do you think that, you could focus on this platform? We've been let down in the past. And Mark actually came back by saying something really interesting. And he said the challenge is not creating and opening the brokerages, it's dealing with success. So what screwed up Robinhood is that they didn't actually have enough cash to handle the number of customers that they had. So essentially, what was happening is they didn't have enough cash to cover a lot of the trades that were going on. And ultimately, he says the question becomes whether or not buyers would pay a commission or even tip a broker for doing their trades. Crypto has no problem paying fees that are associated with buying and selling. So he's just kind of spitballing and saying that, if you were able to pay a commission, it would actually support the trading. It would give you enough cash to actually handle the volume of trades that are being made. And it's been interesting to watch something like this come out because all of us have been so far against, commission trading. Robinhood did such a great job breaking that down. They forced other brokerages to offer commission-free trading. But truly, for this situation to work, it almost looks like you need to have some sort of commission structure that is going to have, the backing of your money. So if they need to get money quickly, they can take it out of these fees that they are putting in. And so I think a lot of people would agree with me in this situation where if you're seeing the price of this skyrocket, you really want to go in, you might be okay paying an extra, $20 because in return, you could be potentially making hundreds, thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars at some point. Now, another advocate for the situation, everything that's been going on, came from a social media app user on Clubhouse, which essentially was hosting an interview with Elon Musk. Now, Elon actually took on the CEO of Robinhood to this Clubhouse platform and basically had him try and clear the air with what was going on. So Elon was really for the people in this situation. If you have not yet listened to this, I would highly recommend it. There's tons of videos out there. I'll link some in the description so you can hear exactly the questions. But Elon was really putting on the burners. He was asking some great questions directed directly to the CEO of Robinhood, and it really put him under the burner. And it was interesting to see the remarks being made. But again, I really think that it was somewhat of a letdown of a situation based on the responses, but I won't go too far into it. Anyways, guys, as the price of GameStop, AMC, these others continue to dip down, it'll be interesting to see where we end up. All I know is that I'm feeling a particular way about the investments that I've been making lately, and I'm starting to shift the brokerages that I'm using. I'm starting this new series where I'm going to be reviewing in-depth kind of beginner's guides to all these different brokerages. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It would really mean a lot to me. I'm trying to make that push to 20K. It would be great. Thank you so much for checking out this video, guys, and I hope you have a great day.